Well, I was planning to spend the night in Bouse, but this is one of the most unwelcoming places I think I've ever been to hikers. Stopped at the Bouse RV park. I'm willing to pay the RV price and just put my tent there. And they said, sorry, it's our policy, no tents. Why would you not allow a tent? Our insurance doesn't allow it. It's like, what kind of crap is that? Your insurance doesn't allow tents? A tent doesn't move, a tent doesn't run people over like a RV could, or the tent is just the safest possible thing when he claims insurance purposes. So I picked up my food from the post office, got my box there, then I went down to the community park and filled up my water there. And I'm in a day use area too, I'm not even in the campground. The campground host is circling around and she makes it a point to stop and says, you know, we close at sunset, right? You've got to be out of here by sunset. I'm like, yeah, I saw the sign, day use only. I don't know, it was just, I really did not like Bouse. Walk in, walk out for me, and I'm kind of heading out into the desert, into BLM land now. Find a place to camp tonight. Freaking calculator there, what's that all about? It's weird. Just got my tent up in time to beat the sprinkles. It's only the second time I've had sprinkles this whole trip. I think the first time was Lake Mead, like day 6 or something like that. So it's been a solid month. Got like 25 miles on the day, so it was a good day. And I did my resupply and walked out of town, so I got a lot done. Like I said, I was planning on spending the night in Bouse, but it's one town I just hope I never return to. Now I'm entering the Plamosa range here. This is all BLM land, unlike a lot of the rest of the route, which was wilderness areas. You know, there's a lot of roads and stuff that goes through here, more people camping in RVs, and there's actually a lot of active mining claims in this area. Got a little bit of a mine shaft here. I believe this is barite and fluorite that they mined here in this one. This rock really doesn't look all that interesting. It's quite a bit warmer in that cave. Now see, this is how these mining claims are supposed to be marked, and you never see them marked like this. Before this hike I drove around, did a little scouting. And this is one of the areas I went to. I actually camped not all that far away from there in my camper van. I actually met the guys that own that claim. They were driving around on a little backhoe, and they said you know, they had some issues with claim jumpers and stuff. And I've honestly never seen one of those signs ever. And all the places I've hiked, you know, certainly have walked over tons of mining claims. I've just never seen them marked like that. So, you know, if somebody goes through the effort and does everything legit and marks them, there's no reason to encroach on that. That's pretty much it for the road. Now I'm going to follow this wash and be off trail for a little while. And this range has got a lot of dirt roads that run through it, but you do have to bushwhack your way through to connect some of them. A little adit here. Some colorful rock though. Got like a shiny metallic mineral here. I don't know if that's galena or something else. the moment, the route I have planned is just basically going up and down a series of really small little washes and you know, ridges and saddles and stuff, just kind of meandering through in order to connect to the next set of dirt roads. This section I didn't really consider to be one of the, you know, most scenic highlights of the whole trail, I guess, but try and look at the positives, the bright side of everything. And for this one, for me, that's the rocks and minerals. And been a little distracted this morning looking at all that. Nothing too interesting at the moment, but this whole range is just going to be, you know, like little mines and prospects and stuff, and should offer decent amount of opportunities to find something interesting. Up and over this small pass, headed over to the other side, and the best part is I don't have to look at the town of Bouse anymore, which kind of angers me even looking at it. Bouse. Ugh. Those lovable locals. And mountain ranges like this one are kind of tough to walk because this one doesn't have like a continuous ridge line that you can walk or anything even, you know, remotely continuous. It's just kind of a bunch of random outcrops of, you know, peaks and hills and stuff. Really, this is kind of the one that you'd want to just walk the base of, I suppose. And you know, it's not all that bad. It's a fairly scenic walk down below. It's just nowhere near what it could be walking on top. Well, that's pretty interesting over there, these caves, I guess you'd call them. I see small caves like this and I think, man, this is the perfect place to cowboy camp, especially one of the rare rainy nights or something, you know. Never seems to work out that way when you want a cave, you know, to come across one. And here we go. This one's a sizable mine shaft. Looks like they cemented it off and somebody said, oh, screw that, we're getting in anyway. Whoa, bats. Yeah, it kind of smells too. Yeah, they're like buzzing my head. All right, well, I would explore that one further, but getting dive bombed by the bats, so I'll leave these ones be. That's a bummer about the bats. I really don't mind the underground stuff. It's my kind of thing I like to explore, but with the bats flying around and stuff, I'll just leave them be. Yeah, right? We'll follow you guys. First off-roaders I've seen this section. Really haven't seen too many on this whole route. Didn't see any in Nevada because it was all Lake Mead National Recreation Area, wilderness. But out in BLM land, you know, you get these guys out after the first of the year. A lot of people come to Quartzsite, a lot of people winter down here, and you'll see more of them, I think, but before Christmas, maybe just more of the locals. Somewhere tucked up in this canyon is the Guzzler I'm looking for. It's the first water source along this section. It's actually pretty nice. Kind of among the most scenic things I've seen yet in the Plamosa Mountains. All right, so this is the Guzzler. Can't really tell how full it is, but the trough over here, the drinker, it's full, but it's full of nasty water. You just see the film on that. You could filter that if you had to. It's definitely green, but you know, kind of get all the debris off the top, and that would definitely be filterable. But I'm gonna pass on that one. I've got 4 liters. Now this is a deep vertical shaft. You just fall right into this one. So this section was going to be a short one, no matter how you slice it. I figured 45 miles, something like that. And that was with a couple of little ridge walks and stuff that I've already cut a few of them off. And the way it's going, I was planning on getting there Friday to I-10, where I was going to try and hitch into Quartzsite. But now, kind of feel like I could get there tomorrow night if I wanted to. Just a matter of how early, you know, because you can't really hitch in the dark, right? So if you get there late in the afternoon, I could potentially hitch. And the network of 4x4 roads here is pretty extensive. There's tons of stuff that's not even on the map. I wanted to go up over this little pass. Well, you know, there's a road that's not on the map that just leads right over it. How convenient. Here we go, paved road crossing the mountains. That's pretty much it for the day. Now it's just time to look for a place to camp. Some of the best views of the day, though, probably the best views of the day. So it works out. So I get a nice view of Haystack and Ibex Peak. I think this spot will do. I'll just clear out a little spot for my tent. Got this nice view for the morning to wake up to. There's some sort of animal not all that far from camp last night making a weird noise. It's kind of like a it's like a cat puking up a hairball or something. I don't know. I think it was a ringtail cat would be my guess. I've never seen one, but this is their territory. It didn't bother me, it didn't come close to camp or anything. It just kind of heard it right after dark, and that was it. First time on this trail I heard anything like that. So my original plan was to kind of hit this pass in between Haystack Peak and Ibex Peak. What I'm going to do now is just take a different route around the mountains this way and approach a ridgeline that I was going to hit either way from this direction. That'll allow me to hit 2 water sources as opposed to 1 on this side. And at this point, I'm really just trying to scout as many water sources as I can, find at least 1 palatable water source on this section. Today's only my second full day since leaving Bouse, which is just a walkthrough, not a full resupply. But it's now day 7 since I've left Lake Havasu City. So looking forward to getting into Quartzsite here and getting a shower and resting up for a day or two before heading out for the final section. Oh, look at this nice rock wall. And this is what you want to find at the end of the night when you're ready to camp. Something like this. Never seems to work out that way though, does it? Definitely feeling a little extra pep in my step today, knowing that I'll likely reach town. We'll say likely. I'm also trying to beat the rain. There's supposed to be, it's only like 50% chance of a little bit of rain tonight, but it's right at 6 p.m., you know, the time I'm going to set up my tent. So it's the other motivator to get into town before that happens. You can see the clouds moving in already. It's supposed to get overcast this afternoon and then rain this evening. Well, the mountains here in the southern part of the Plamosa range are definitely more interesting, have a little bit more character than the northern part of the range. I'm about to head up to the ridgeline here pretty soon. Kind of looking forward to that. Another Guzzler here. Check this one, see if we got water. I've never seen a gate like that before. So many different ways to make a gate. How to close them. That one's kind of ingenious. Well, we've got water. It's pretty green, but less feathers than the previous one. Oh wow, okay. I figured these would be seized up, but if there's a float system in here, I can just dispense water like I did the last section. Yeah, got a float. Yeah, this will work. So at this point, I'm only like, we'll say 7 miles from the highway, but it's all gonna be off trail. And I have 2 liters of water. So I really don't feel like I need this water, but I know if I pass it up, I'll just regret it because that's what happens every time. So I'm just gonna fill up this water, carry it for no reason. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Oh, dang. It was coming out really clear at first. Oh no, it's like intermittently coming out as like sort of rusty looking. I'll be fine on my 2 liters of water. This Guzzler actually has a second trough, second drinker. It's pretty dark green, but it's really not that bad. You know, this is a desert water source. If you got to filter this, it's fine. For me though, I've got 2 clean liters. That's enough to go, I don't know, the rest of the day basically. I'm fine on that. I don't see any point in filtering it. So I'm gonna skip it. Now, my route has me going off trail up this valley to gain the ridgeline. Well, whatever path I thought I saw has already faded away. This one's just going to be an off trail. Wow, this is a view now. I'm up at the top of this little pass. I'm actually going to be heading up the ridgeline up there. But the reason I came up this way, not only for the water source below the Guzzler I already passed, but the map marks another Guzzler down here, which I don't really see it. And I'm certainly not going to go rooting around down there looking for it at this point. So scratch that one. Some choya balls in my finger here. Still got another 400 feet to the top of the ridgeline. I don't know if that's going to be my route through the wash or, you know, up a little higher. Oh yeah, this one's getting a little adventurous now. Basically the ridgeline up there. Almost at the top here. Oh geez, that's just a cluster of choya balls. That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, hopefully there's not more of that along this ridgeline. Let's go this way. Wow, the view really opens up from here. Just look at that. What a great view. You know, I don't think I would have had a view like this a little bit further down, a little bit further north in the Plamosa Mountains where I was. But man, you can just see the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge and everything off in the distance now. And this weather has definitely added a unique vibe, I guess, and a unique feel to this view. But this weather also says it's time for me to get going. I'm gonna drop down to this saddle and just work my way down this ridgeline. It's really not that far. It's maybe a mile and a half or something down that ridgeline. And I'm gonna drop down, and then I've just got a big valley to cross. And I'll hit Interstate 10. Now it's a matter of going up and over and following the ridgeline. We're looking for game trails that skirt the way across. And that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm kind of blown away by these views. This ridgeline is awesome. I don't know if it's just the lighting or what, but it looks just way greener than it has along a whole lot of this route. Choya! You can get your very own choya pet now. Just add water and watch it grow into a horrendous monster. It's kind of amazing to me that bighorn sheep poop out these little tiny pellets. Big sheep, little pellet, you know? Personally, I think they poop out those little pellets. It's kind of like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. You know, in case they get lost, they got something to follow. little bit of a knife edge action going on here. Try and skirt around this a little bit. Whew. Shite. Dang. That's a drop off there. Go up and see if I got a route up top. Yeah, this should work. Up and over the other side. And so now I'm following this little ridge down. Then I'm going to follow this ridge down a ways before dropping off. Pretty cool over there. You got, I guess you'd call it an arch. I'm following a faint little game trail. Once I can get around this is kind of the steepest part. I should be able to make my way off this ridgeline without facing any major obstacle. All done with the ridge walk, and now it's time to drop down through this canyon down to a road below. At least briefly. I think I'll follow that road for like a mile or two. And then it's mostly off trail to the highway. There's really no road that leads directly where I want to go. Right back on flat level ground. It's a good feeling. Glad I did that ridgeline though. That's easily the highlight of the whole section for me. Just ate lunch here at the Black Beauty mine, and they mined a bunch of rare minerals here, things I can't pronounce. I don't think I found any, but now it's time to knock out the last 5 miles or so to the highway. This is pretty much where I leave the road. Now it's just going to be off trail across the desert in this direction. I can see the highway now, which is a good sign. I couldn't really see it from above, which is kind of weird. It's probably four to 5 miles straight shot. Let's get cracking. Enjoy these open desert walks. Just pick a distant landmark and go for it. And for me, I'm shooting for that square top up there. Got like 2 humps and then square top, and then the big mesa up top, that square top right in front of me. And it's too late by the time I turn the camera on, but I just scared up a big buck over there. It's first deer I've seen this whole trail. 500 something miles of hiking, and yeah, first deer. This is the end of section 8. This is the intersection of Highway 60 and Interstate 10.